Welcome to another Inter Miami live watch long. Tonight they are facing the Chicago Fire and infamous manager Greg Berhalter. Hope you all are having a great Tuesday night. Excited to see what happens this match and see what the scoreline is going to be, and keeping up with this Messi Golden Boot race with him and Denis Bouanga, and obviously the MVP race and the Supporter Shield. A lot of things going on, but Inter Miami are already starting off on the wrong foot with this lineup, and they're going back to a formation and a lineup that has not really worked out well for them so far this summer. Not good at all. So before we get into that, make sure you give this stream a like down below if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share with a friend. Let's grow the audience as much as we can. Have a very exciting watch along again. We'll be doing a post game recap after this match as well, which should be exciting. Based on whatever happens, it'll be fun to break down what we watched. But yeah, so Inter Miami, they switched to this 5 in the back formation, right? And also they've been having Rodrigo de Paul play next to Sergio Busquets, which I think Rodrigo de Paul playing next to Sergio Busquets was a better use of Rodrigo de Paul's talent. And they did play the 4-2-3-1 the last match, but the 4-2-3-1 doesn't work if they're putting Rodrigo de Paul on the right side of the midfield. Rodrigo de Paul is not a right midfielder. He's not a right midfielder. So they have Yannick Bright and Busquets playing next to each other again, which has not worked well this season when Rodrigo de Paul is on the right side. Telasco Segovia is playing on the left side. Telasco Segovia is, been a solid player this year, but I just don't think that he really gives this team what they need as far as pace down the flank. And with this team being so old, they really need speedy wingers to really maximize this team. They've got Lujan and Toto Alvarez starting at center back, which is a disaster. Wingett and is playing on the right back, which he's really fallen off this year. He's not as good as Ian Frey has been down the stretch. So I do have Jordi Alba, but I just don't like this lineup. I think this lineup sucks pretty bad, honestly. So it's a very disappointing lineup for Inter Miami, in my opinion. I'm going to be curious to see what Chicago does against them in this match. I don't really understand why Baltasar Rodriguez isn't starting. I don't think he's hurt. He has played a couple games. Why isn't Matteo Salvetti starting? Very, very questionable lineup tonight. And that really does play a factor into what my prediction is going to be. And so I want to ask you guys, who do you think is going to win this match? I'm not as confident now that this is the lineup. I'm not as confident now seeing what Inter Miami is going to roll out with. It really does change things for me. Want to know what you guys think? Who is going to win, Inter Miami or Chicago Fire? It is at Miami, so that does play a role into it. We have a lot of comments Miguel says, "Oh, let's effing go, Chicago. We need this bud, or we need this dub." Have Hope says that annual Messi random ass hat trick about to hit could happen. Mr. Good friend of the show says, "Hi, Will." Let's see. Harris says Miami is not winning the supporter shield. They definitely have an uphill. They definitely have some obstacles that they're going to have to cross if they want to win it, but they definitely have a chance. They're in the driver's seat. Mister says he's going to go 2-0 Inter Miami. Let's see. Nino says Chicago Fire win 4-0 versus Inter Miami. Strength go goal. Let's see. Harry says Chicago to tie or win was plus 220. I took the bait. Yeah. Kenny says, Hola, appreciate you for stopping by, Kenny. Mr. says, what minute do you think Alvarez will be booked? I mean, he probably will definitely get booked in the first half, like maybe the first 15 minutes, maybe. Let's see. Fried Chicken says Chicago is winning. Paul says the Silvetti is injured. Really? Is he really injured already? That's kind of crazy if he's injured already. Baltasar Rodriguez, he's been very solid for them too on the left side. I'm surprised he's not playing in this match. But, Inter Miami, they really need these guys to play if they want to have any chance of winning the MLS Cup in 2025 because they change the whole dynamic of this team, especially with the senior citizen roster that they have. And I really don't like Rodrigo de Paul on the right side. I'm not a big fan of Rodrigo de Paul playing on the right side. Not a fan of that at all. Oh, so Vetti's playing the U20 World Cup. Okay, that's right. I got you. Baltasar Rodriguez, Baltasar Rodriguez is 21 or 22, so he's probably not playing in that. Yeah, but Baltasar Rodriguez, is he just a healthy scratch? I don't know why they would be giving him a break at this point. Let me pull up the lineup, see if they've got the bench ready. They don't have the bench ready yet. Oh, here we go. Baltasar Rodriguez is on the bench. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Baltasar Rodriguez and Tadio Allende are both not starting. But yeah, I see now that Matteo Salvetti is on international duty. But I am surprised that Baltasar Rodriguez isn't starting. I just don't like Rodrigo de Paul on the right side. I think this could be a draw tonight. This is a terrible lineup. And then having Toto Alvarez, the joke is that he's a yellow card machine. The guy just can, always takes the worst chances and fouls people, or worst challenges, I should say, and he's just a yellow card magnet. And I just not ideal with him and Lujan starting as your center backs. And then Chelo Wenged on the right side. I mean, he's, like I said earlier, he's not been very good or consistent. So Drink Me says, what are you betting on, Messi, Masterclass, or Allende stinker, or both? Well, Allende's not even playing, so that's already a positive, right? I guess for Miami fans. I thought he would start in this lineup, though. I'm not a little surprised why he's on the bench. But, I'm starting to lean maybe as a 2-2 draw. I think it could be a 2-2 draw after seeing the lineup, just because I don't see the pace that they need. And I'm not, I don't dislike Talasco Segovia. I actually do like him. But after I've seen Baltasar Rodriguez on the left side with the speed he has, and like I said, Matteo Salvetti, I just don't think Segovia really fits with this team with the way they need to play. That 4-2-3-1, I don't like him playing a left winger or left midfielder. I just don't think he's good. And Rodrigo de Paul is definitely not a right midfielder. He's definitely not a right winger. He's not. He's a box-to-box in the middle destroyer. And when you're not playing him on that, you're just essentially wasting him. You're wasting him. Paul says that Mascherano is giving rest to some guys. I mean, that's true that he's resting guys, but if that's the case, why is Messi playing? Why is Suarez playing? Why is DePaul playing? Why is Busquets playing? Why is Alba playing? Why is Ustari playing? Why are the young guys resting and the old guys are the ones that are playing? That doesn't make any sense. Why are the old guys playing and the young guys are being rested? If it should be the other way around. It should be the other way around, but it's not. Fried Chicken says Miami will ghost tonight. I think that there's going to be some issues in the attack because this formation, I'm not a big fan. I could be wrong. I think it's going to be 2-2. I do think it's going to be, and I wouldn't be surprised if Inter Miami didn't score tonight, but I think that Messi is in really good form. So I think that they probably will. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. Mr. says Alvarez has potential, but he makes so many stupid decisions. He does, and also, uh, Mascherano doesn't like Toto Alvarez. I mean, he's been demoted to relegated to the bench. He was a starter last year. He was a starter essentially when he got signed in 2023 in the after the summer. And by the way, Chicago Fire are in ninth place right now. They are desperate to make the playoffs. They are fighting for a playoff spot. So that's another thing you have to keep into account, that they are fighting for a playoff spot. So they're going to be hungry tonight. They're going to be going for it. And I just don't know. I just don't know Inter Miami. I don't know if they're going to have the lineup to really score many goals. Drink Me says Busquets, I think, is going to play most every game since he's retiring. Yeah, no, I think that's probably fair. He is kind of a what do you call it? Where they play every, like an Iron Man, right? He plays like every single match he probably can play, unless he really got hurt. But even when he's hurt, he normally still plays. I just don't think that it makes a lot of sense to have all the old guys playing tonight, but all the young people are on the bench. That doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Michael Pelly says, should they loan out Alvarez next year or just sell him? I think they should loan him out because I don't know if anyone would want to buy him at the moment because he's been so bad. But I do think that Inter Miami could loan him play better for another team and then possibly sell him. But I don't expect him to. I know they were trying to get rid of him this summer. So I know he won't be on the team in 2026. I'd be very surprised if he'll be on the team in 2026. I think they're going to do more wholesale changes in Miami. I think there's going to be a lot of moves that they make this winter to change the team because there is a lot of holes, a lot of issues with this team. And look, we don't even know for sure who's going to be managing this team in 2026. Mascherano is far from safe. He's going to have to do a lot of work in the playoffs and really, really show some special. I'm not supposed to show a special ability, but show that he's capable of winning big games and that he is a manager who can do damage in the playoffs. If he chokes or does anything remotely close to what Tata Martino did in 2024 or doesn't win a couple playoff games, he's as good as gone. JJ says Messi owns Dognado for fun. Fried Chicken says Inter Miami played better without. Nah, I don't think so. Messi mentioned that resting increases injuries for him. That's fine. Messi obviously is probably going to play, but I'm talking about other guys. I'm talking about some of these other older guys. Drink Me says makes sense to me because a lot of the young guys are prone to errors and can't be dependent on. Old guys don't have the legs, but they give balance. Yeah, but you would think that then all of them would be playing, right? Mr. says Alvarez reminds me of Lee Cattermole, who used to play for the Sunderland. You could see that he had talent, but he just do something stupid all too often. Yeah, I don't. He's still very young, though. I mean, he's only 21 years old, so he does have time to rebound, right? He definitely has time to fix things. We'll see what happens. Michael Pelly says, I heard that there was a young Mexican U22 player that both Miami and Real Madrid are after next year. Are you talking about Mora? You talking about Gilberto Mora? He's for Tijuana. 89 says, what's up, losers? Nathan Perez says, bro, fried chicken, please leave this live stream. Paul says Kramaski scored a hat trick for US yesterday. He did. He looked pretty good. I don't know if he's made an appearance yet for Parma. I don't think he has. But yeah, he looked good yesterday. I mean, the talent wasn't really too crazy, right? But I mean, he did look good. You can't deny that he did look good yesterday for the US for the U20 team. Michael Pelly says, yes, that's the player. Gilberto Mora is very good, Michael. Very, very good. he has shown more for Tijuana than Kevin Sullivan has ever showed for Philadelphia. And I think Kevin Sullivan is the most overrated prospect that there is, especially in CONCACAF, just because when you have ability and everybody says that you're going to be so talented and you're going to be this crown jewel prospect that's going to, you know, prevail and take this team to another level, you have to see flashes where you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I see it. I see how good this kid is. I haven't seen him do anything. I haven't seen him do anything. He looks very, very mid. But Gilberto Mora, I've seen him ball out and show crazy flashes and look like the best player on the pitch. Now, are you expecting a 15 or 16-year-old to do that consistently? No, but you have to see it at least a little bit. You have to see them do something at least every couple games that shows you the ability that they have. Harry says, "Come on, that was the new Caledonia. No one can point that on a map." Yeah, I mean the opponent obviously you have to take into consideration. Let's see. Ghost Boy says, let's see, calling everybody dogs. And interesting. Yeah, but I think that Inter Miami are definitely going to have to make some moves, and they're going to have to revamp this roster once again. We'll see what they're able to do. They should have a DP spot open. We'll see what they do with that. I don't think that Jordi Alba is going to be a DP in 2026. So we'll see what happens. Now there were some rumors I saw about Jordi Alba potentially going back to Spain, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think he wants to finish his career with Messi, and he still wants to play a couple more years. So I don't think that that's going to happen. And by the way, the kickoff's probably about 2 or 3 minutes away. Like always, MLS is always behind. Takes 2 or 3 minutes, but the game should kick off in about 2 to 3 minutes. About 10 to 15 minutes late every single time. But Jordi Alba, I think, is going to be here. I think he signed a deal till 2027, I want to say. 2027. So he's going to be here. Rodrigo De Paul is going to be here. Messi's going to be here. Hopefully Suarez isn't back. Suarez is, very, very cooked in my opinion. I think he's done. But if Messi wants him back and if he wants to come back, he'll probably be back. But I think that'd be a mistake. You've seen it's always best to get rid of a player a year too early than a year too late. And I think that they probably should have moved off of him after last year, but that didn't happen. They kept him another season, and you could see the fall off in 2020 and 2025. Paul says Inter said that those are just rumors for Alba. He is honoring his contract. And honestly, why would he want to go back to Spain at this point? He's not going to be playing for a top club. And I think he likes Miami. Who wouldn't if you have money? I mean, Miami's super nice. Why would he leave to play on some mid-table Spanish team? Unless he's just dying to go back home. Michael says both San Jose and the Fire went from horrid to average this year. So both made big strides, which is with a good attack, but lacking defense. No, for sure. And by the way, we're about to kick off. Looks like a pretty underwhelming crowd, a lot of empty seats. It is a Tuesday night game in Fort Lauderdale. We'll see what happens. We're officially kicked off. Both of these teams need points. One team is trying to get the Supporter Shield first seed in the Eastern Conference. The other team is trying to make the playoffs. Greg Berhalter has, I'm not a big Greg Berhalter fan, but I mean, the Chicago Fire are definitely more competitive this year. But with the money they've spent, they should be more competitive. We'll see what happens. Turn this volume up just a little bit. I'm going to keep it on the center back duo. Lujan and Toto Alvarez. They're going to have to play pretty good tonight. We'll see if Toto Alvarez, if he would, we talked about his talent earlier. If he could just put some consistent games together, then he would be a starter for this team. So we'll have to see what he can do tonight and see if he can maybe have a late surgence for Inter Miami, and maybe he can lock down one of those center back spots. I doubt he will, but we'll see. Jordi Alba with the ball. Segovia. They're playing very conservative right now. They normally do. I think early in the game, kind of fill things out, see what Chicago's going to do. Chicago's playing as a 3-4-3. I hate Rodrigo de Paul on the right side. Just such a waste. Yannick Bright passed it to Rodrigo de Paul with a bad pass. He was looking for Messi, gave it away to Gutman. Chris Brady's a stud, though. Huge Chris Brady fan. I think Chris Brady's the future. Bad giveaway by Gutman. Throw in for Inter Miami. Chilo Wingett taking the throw in. Eric Nunez says, "What's up, Will?" Eric, appreciate you for joining us, my friend. Hoping for an interesting match tonight. Two teams that are, I don't want to say desperate, but they're definitely they have things on the line. Rodrigo de Paul out wide to Jordi Alba. Talasco Segovia. Back to Jordi. Ooh, bad pass from Segovia, taken away by Chicago. Yannick Bright's able to win it. I thought he got fouled. Okay, they do call the foul. Free kick for Inter Miami. Rodrigo plays it to Yannick Bright. Back to Rodrigo de Paul. Sergio Busquets. To Toto Alvarez. Oh, they call a foul on Sergio Busquets. Yeah, studs in the feet. Definitely a foul. You got the ball first, but studs in the feet is just going to get you. You're going to get that called every single time. Yeah, I'm curious to see what striker Hugo Kuipers can do for Chicago. They spent a club record, I think 13, 14 million dollars for him last season. He said he's been pretty good this year. We'll see what he can do. I think if he has some good service tonight, that he could make Inter Miami pay. He can make Inter Miami definitely pay tonight. Ooh, taken away by Inter Miami. Inter Miami throw in. Looked like it was off of Rodrigo de Paul, but they're going to call it out of bounds on Chicago for a throw in. Eric says, "Did you see Messi yelling at Suarez last game?" I don't remember. I didn't get to watch all of the Toronto FC match. Captain Falcon says, "What's your prediction?" I'm gonna go two. I said that I thought it's going to be a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. I don't like the Inter Miami lineup. Rodrigo, Messi playing pretty deep. Messi passes out wide to Jordi Alba. Alba back to Messi. Messi looking for Talasco Segovia with a beautiful pass. Good defending by Chicago. But that was a beautiful pass by Messi. Messi wins the ball back. Loses it though. Out of bounds for a throw in for Chicago. That was a beautiful pass from Messi to Talasco Segovia. But I think that you kind of see that Talasco Segovia, just because he's just not. They had a little more speed there. I think he would have been able to get to the ball a little quicker. You just see that they don't have this team has no speed right now. Tadio Allende is probably the second or third fastest guy on the team. Well, actually, Fafa Pico is definitely probably the fastest. But Tadio Allende is probably third. Fafa Pico is a top three, but I'm talking about guys who actually play. I'm taking Fafa Pico out because he doesn't play. Top three fastest guys who play: Tadio Allende, Matteo Salvetti, and Baltasar Rodriguez. Nobody on the pitch right now has any pace. There is no pace on this pitch right now. Yannick Bright. I think Jordi Alba might be the fastest guy on the pitch right now, honestly. Maybe Cello, maybe. Busquets out wide to Rodrigo de Paul. Toto. Man, this just I don't feel good about this. If you're an Inter Miami fan, I don't feel good about this. Michael Pelé says, looks like Miami is trying to find a way to have all three Busquets, Bright, and DePaul, but DePaul playing wide, not working. Maybe an odd 3-3-3-1 with the tree playing the back midfield. Maybe. I just think what's going to have to happen, Michael, is they're just going to have to play. They're just going to have Yannick Bright on the bench. I mean, you're not going to bench Busquets because he's making 10 million. Rodrigo DePaul costs too much money. You're not. You're just not going to bench him. Oh God, bad giveaway by Telasco Segovia. You're just not going to be able to bench him. And, Yannick Bright can start next year, but it's just, you got to do what wins. And I don't think these three on the pitch together, this is not their best formation. This is not their best lineup. And it puts them at a disadvantage. I think it puts them at a huge disadvantage. By the way, we have 40 people in the chat, only 12 likes. Let's try to get to 50 likes before halftime. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're growing like crazy. Ooh, Chris Brady, bad. Couldn't save it. Let go of it. Just kicks it out for a throw in. Wasn't able to save it. But we're getting closer and closer to 11,000 subscribers. We're just absolutely blowing up. Thanks to you guys and your support. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video or live stream. Watch along. Messi looking for Jordi Alba. A little too much on it. A little too much. Out of bounds for goal kick for Chicago Fire. And another thing too is Miami, I don't think are a very good road team. So if they don't finish at the top of the Eastern Conference, I think they're in trouble. I think they could be in trouble if they don't finish the top of the Eastern Conference. And good steal by Yannick Bright, Segovia, Jordi Alba to Rodrigo de Paul, Rodrigo to Telasco Segovia, Segovia to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba looking for Messi, but given away. Bad pass. Ooh. I thought Gutman with a good pass. Bamba. Oh, good save by Ustari. I thought Kuipers found Bamba, and that was a good save by Ustari. Good defending, good goalkeeping by Ustari. I thought they were going to score there. Ooh, good save by Ustari. It's going to be a corner for Chicago Fire. Am I behind? Yep. Dang. Who scored? Jay Davila. This is why you don't. Yeah, like I said, I think Inter Miami's in trouble tonight. This lineup just doesn't work. But you know what? That's Messi. He looks pissed. Javier Mascherano is not a very good manager, so that's what happens. He's not a very good manager. Terrible defending. Who the hell is marking him? Let me watch the replay on this. Yannick Bright. I mean, what's he doing there? I mean, he was trying to head the ball too. Terrible. Terrible defending. What was Ustari doing? Did he think it was going to go wide right? Or wide, well, his wide right, our wide left, but still. Mister, my question about Yannick Bright is, will he still be in Miami next season? I could see him. I could see someone coming in for him. I think he'll probably be there at least the beginning. He'll probably be there at least the beginning of the season. I think he'll be there at least like the first half of the season, but I think next summer he could be sold. Nathan says, "My TV is above your voice, but your live stream is above my TV." What do you mean? Suarez, Messi, Messi out wide to Alba. Alba with the cross, too wide. Oh my God, look at this pace. They just don't have any speed. Look at how bad Miami struggle when they play anybody with pace. Did you see how bad that was? Kuipers passes that wide. Bomba's down the flank. It's going to be offside. I think he's barely offside, but I think he's offside. I think Bomba's offside. Yeah, he was offside, probably by a foot, maybe 2 feet. Pass was way too late. Terrible defending and terrible goalkeeping. Captain Falcon says Miami are going to choke in the playoffs. Look, I don't have any confidence that Javier Mascherano can lead this team anywhere in the playoffs. I just don't. I don't. I mean, he found a formation. He found something that worked, and he's already went away from it. He can't help himself. 13 minutes in, Inter Miami's down 1-0 to the Chicago Fire. Ooh, they're going to play advantage. Messi offside, but looked like Kuipers fouled Yannick Bright, I think. I think it was Kuipers. This team is just so old. Way too old. Mm. You know, and I mentioned this earlier. I don't want to pick on him because I don't think tonight is all his fault. I think there's a lot of issues, but Telasco Segovia, I mean, there's not two worse wing options you could have right now than him and DePaul. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see Telasco Segovia being a great fit in this formation, the 4-4-2 or the 4-2-3-1. I just don't see it. Ahmed says, "You were so right. Mascherano is not going to improve this team. We have no vision." He's terrible. He makes bad decision after bad decision. He can't help himself. Captain Falcon says Messi and Jordi Alba and Sergio are the only serious players on this team. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not even about being serious. They're some of them are. Busquets is too old, and Jordi Alba's good, but he needs help. And Suarez is cooked. I mean, they're just playing everybody out of position. It's just not good. It does not. It's the last too many misfits on this team. Isaiah says, "Hey, Will, appreciate for joining us, my friend." Michael Pelly says, "This sounds crazy, but Allende might be a better option than Suarez or Suarez to a 10-ish position." That's the thing. They got Messi playing a 10 as a 10 almost, right? He's playing as like a second striker or a 10. But I do think Tadeo Allende would be better up top where he can just kind of, sit there and have some through balls fed to him from Messi or whoever. That probably would be better, but they're just not going to do that. That's the problem. They're not going to bench Luis Suarez, even though he probably should be. He sucks. He's been terrible this season. Michael Pelly says Rodriguez looks good too. He looks really good. I think him and Silvetti look really good. Mr. says Mascherano tries to be clever. Yeah, he does. To be too clever. He does. He's trying to be Pep Guardiola, man. He's not. Bad giveaway. Yannick Bright with the ball. Finds Messi. Jordi Alba tries to pass it to Suarez. Bad pass. Taken away by Chicago, but Inter Miami's able to win it back. Isaiah says Messi is going to score. It's this formation. It's tough. Messi passed it back to Suarez. Suarez, wide right. Messi on a platter to Luis Suarez, and it was wide right. That was a beautiful look. Suarez not able to capitalize on it. Look at that. Wide right. Luis Suarez is so washed. He's so washed. Ahmed says, yes, totally misfit. Suarez is the same problem that Barca had at his last years. It's like playing with one player less on the field. His legs are gone, and boy, has he been terrible this season. Yeah, he's been terrible. His attitude's been bad. Everything about him's been bad this year. It's just been bad in general. They should not re-sign him. He does nothing at this point. The team just looks so flat. Yannick Bright. Toto Alvarez. This attack is just so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch. I mean, there's so much standing around. There's 5 people level right now in the attack. 5 people. I mean, Messi pass is deflected, but they're able to win it back. Cello. Looks like Cello lost it. Fake fan said Suarez even gets suspended. He did for 3 games. It went by so fast because they're at a good steal by Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba looking for Messi. Messi fouled. Messi called for the foul inside the box. Chicago Fire. Goal kick. Free kick. Michael says, at least they didn't waste a DP spot on Suarez. Yeah, that is a bright spot. That is. Ahmed says we need a strong defense and a creative midfielder and a younger goalkeeper. My God, this team nearly looks like a retirement home. It does. Bad giveaway. Rodrigo de Paul to Suarez. Will Suarez botch it again? Nope. Bad pass to Yannick Bright. But it looks like Yannick Bright was fouled. So it's going to be a free kick right outside the box. You know what's so funny is Chicago is not even playing that well. They're like begging Inter Miami to stay in this game, to stay, to keep it competitive and give them a chance of life in this match. That was such a bad giveaway. Davila, I mean, what was he doing? Then he fouled Yannick Bright. So the goal scorer with a bad giveaway and then also a very bad foul outside the box. We'll see if Messi can score his 25th goal of the season to extend his lead in the Golden Boot race in Major League Soccer. All right, let's see what happens. If you're ahead, don't spoil it. Messi free kick. All right, let's see. Can Messi score? Oh, saved by Chris Brady. Low and to the left, saved by Chris Brady. Michael says you wouldn't be able to tell DePaul was a top player in the Liga the way he has played most of this time since joining MLS. Well, and a lot of that is because he's played out of position. He had to play as a 10. He's played as a right midfielder. I mean, he's played more out of position than he has in his position. So Captain Falcon says, if you don't like a player, don't watch them. I think hate watching a player is stupid. Only hate watch Real Madrid because I'm a Barca fan. Interesting. Ahmed says, I think it was a mistake to have sold Campana and Taylor. But here's the thing. Campana sucks too. He hasn't done anything in New England. He's been terrible. Robert Taylor hasn't done anything. The mistake is signing Messi's friends instead of the best player possible. Using DP spots on friends instead of signing the best quality player that they possibly can get. And hopefully when they have a DP spot open in 2026, they don't just sign a former teammate. Hopefully they sign like the best young player. I'm hoping they take that DP spot and sign a striker a striker who's 26 to 28 years old, who's in their prime, who doesn't need to have played with Messi. They just need to get the best player possible. Are you guys behind the Fought Mob timer? Cali Rex says Messi hasn't made a shot from a set piece since Leagues Cup against LAFC. It feels like it does feel like it's been a while. Michael Pelé says, I do think we will, or he will adjust better next year after a preseason with the team. Yeah, I do, but when he's playing in his position and Busquets is retired and he can play there next to Yannick Bright, I think that will help as well. Ahmed says, yes, exactly. That's what they needed. Young players. Yeah, they just need young players. They don't, when Messi played for Barcelona, they weren't signing just players who'd played with him before or national team players that know him. They were just signing the best players they can possibly get. And that's what you need to do. Just sign the best players. He's got friends here already. They don't need to sign only friends, especially with DP spots. Fake fans says, I think you can argue that DePaul should be able to play no matter what position because the level he has played this and this is MLS, but at least we can say MLS isn't completely free stat pad leagues. I mean, look, he should be okay he could probably play as a 10, but I don't think he can play as a right midfielder. I think that completely takes him out of the game. His quality's good, but you have to play in your position. Mr. Mister says DePaul also wasn't surrounded by just old men at Atletico Madrid. Yeah, he wasn't surrounded by old men and he wasn't playing out of position. So I mean that definitely has a part in what we're seeing. Yannick Bright to Messi. Oh. Oh, Busquets, I think he's got kicked in the back of the head. Or did he get kicked in the back? Another set piece right outside the box for Inter Miami. Jane says triple G ball. Cali Rex says the fall off of DePaul needs to be studied considering how well he played for Atletico. Like I said, I don't even think he got fouled. Did Kuipers even touch him? I don't think he even touched him. But I do think that DePaul playing out of position definitely has a huge impact on him not looking as good. All right. Another free kick for Messi outside the box. Let's see if he can convert this. Harry says also Simone is 10 times the manager. Mastronis. It's not even close. Blocked again. Rodrigo to Paul looking for Alba. No one there. Looks like it's offside by Jordi Alba though, but nobody's there. There's nobody with pace that can get on this other end of that. There's nobody. Nobody. Kyrex is the replay showed that he didn't touch. Yeah, he didn't look like he touched him. I mean, Jordi Alba's looking for Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright's not going to score that first touch. Like there's nobody there. Nobody's inside the final third or on the other end of that except for Yannick Bright. 25 minutes in, it's 1-0 Chicago Fire over Inter Miami. Absolutely terrible performance so far by Inter Miami. Terrible. They're still in it though. Good win by Busquets. Rodrigo to Paul passes out wide to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba. Suarez back to Alba. Alba out wide to Cello. Rodrigo to Paul. Passes it to Yannick Bright. Oh, it's Segovia. My bad. Segovia. Yannick Bright to Toto Alvarez. Toto Alvarez. Horrible cross. Way too wide. Segovia is able to get it to it, though. Passes it to Luis Suarez. God, Jordi Alba's everywhere. I mean, this is just sad. This looks terrible. Oh, good pass, but a little too heavy of a pass. Michael Pelly says, I heard a rumor that Mueller was interested in playing with the Union. Considering he took a deep discount to play at Vancouver, what could have been or what could he have done with Philly? Granted, Vancouver Whitecaps seem like a great fit. I don't know if he really took that much of a I don't know if he really took that much of a discount though, because he's still making several million dollars. I mean, he's a DP for Vancouver, so I don't know how much of a discount he took to play at Vancouver. But he is something that they needed, I think, in the attack, and also confidence wise to really help that team realize their potential. And I think that's why they're one of the better teams in the not just the Western Conference, but MLS in general. They're a team to keep an eye on. They're going to be right there in the thick of things for contending for the MLS Cup. Kyrex says, I'm calling it now. If Chicago hold defensively like they did against Miami the first game, they'll win either 1-0 or 2-0. I don't have enough faith in Miami. Not this formation. Not this formation. There's just nothing in the attack. Segovia. It's a good flick by Messi. Back to Messi. Three guys around him. Passes it to DePaul. DePaul with a terrible, terrible, terrible cross looking for Telasco Segovia. God, he looks terrible. He looks so bad. I just don't think this team can do much. I'm gonna tweet that out real quick. Mascherano continues to do it. Jaden says Suarez has done nothing either. Why does he still start? Because he's part of the system, man. He's one of the guys. He's one of Messi's friends. I doubt they'll bench him. He's too. I mean, they were playing fine without him, but it's just like the reason Sergio Busquets won't be benched because he's a buddy, and well, Sergio Busquets is making too much money to be benched, but Suarez, he should be benched. He should be. He sucks. He does nothing. He does nothing at this point. Absolutely nothing. Timothy Park says Miami are probably tired. Played so many games recently, but that's what I said earlier. If they are so tired, why are they sitting the young guys who are normally starters and playing the old guys? Why are they sitting the young guys or and playing the old guys? That's the opposite of what you would do. It's the opposite. John Andrews says that Messi's a has-been. I don't think so. I just think the team around him is not very good. When he has decent service, I mean, he scores braces. Michael says it's clear Miami is two teams, Messi's boys and the rest. Yeah. But also, I think they need a manager. Oh, that was almost a bad giveaway, but my Chicago was able to keep possession. Uh-oh. There it is. 2-0, enter Miami down. The Chicago Fire. I'm gonna text my boy Granada and say, wait, you because he was telling me, he said, Danny said Miami is gonna let supporters show no matter what. And we see this is what happens. They're vulnerable. Let me text him real quick. They have no pace. The defending is terrible. Sergio Busquets I mean, where the hell is Lujan? Is that Lujan right there? Where's Toto Alvarez? Busquets and Alba are the two guys furthest back. What is going on? Greg Berhalter, who is terrible, is putting on a masterclass versus Javier Mascherano. Miami are in trouble. I'm telling you, you're seeing the vulnerability here. Wayne says game over. Callie Rex says, I think Danny gets too cocky about this team. Yeah, they have a talent, but they don't work as a team when it matters. They just don't have a good manager either to put this team in the best position to succeed. They don't have that. Chicago deserves. They're putting. Excuse me. Jeez, he gets more water. Chicago is putting them away, and they do deserve some credit. But like this Miami team looks inept. This is not the best Miami team we've seen. They just don't have. They're playing the formation that they sucked playing most of the season with. Ahmed says that Mascherano should resign at the end of the season. Probably not going to happen, but I think that is funny. That is pretty funny. Rob says, imagine starting Lujan and Alvarez and thinking it's going to work. Right? Noah Allen's on the bench, who's young, who could play. Maxi Falcone could have played. Yes, they have a game on Saturday, but Messi's not going to play in that game. There's players that Messi's not going to play in that game. I think he might be the only player on this team that's going to have international duty. So it does make sense why Messi would play tonight. But this team's in trouble. When Messi's out, I don't think this team's going to win. I mean, he's the most important piece on the roster, obviously. But like when he's gone, even if they switch back to the formation that worked, and what they'll probably end up doing, and Rodrigo De Paul's going to be out too. Yeah, I mean, not that Rodrigo De Paul's playing very well as a right midfielder anyway, but this team's in trouble, I think, when everyone's out. Bobby says, who is the best center back in Major League Soccer? I think it's Yamar. I mean, that's who I've always thought it's been. Yamar for Seattle. I think he's the best center back. That's just me. Ashcan says, to be fair, Chicago is playing for an MLS spot as opposed to a playoff spot. Yeah, I mean, they have something to play for tonight. I did say that earlier on that there was something to play for them. Miami need a center back, striker, and a new manager. They do. Probably in reverse order though. Manager first, striker second, center back third. But yeah, I agree with you. They do. I mean, you just see the deficiencies with this team. They're getting embarrassed by Greg Berhalter, which is kind of funny in a sense, but I mean, not good. Not good. This is not what you would want to see as if you're an Inter Miami fan, this is not what you want to see. And it could get ugly here. Hugo Kuipers, Lujan. Oh my God, so much space. Oh my. How did he miss that? Was it offside? Did the flag come up? God, Inter Miami should be down 3-0 right now. Michael Pelly says Miami is like we looked good the last 3 games with the other formation, so let's outthink ourselves. I'm telling you, Javier Mascherano cannot help himself. He cannot help himself. He cannot help himself. And I'm telling you right now, if Inter Miami get their ass kicked in this game, which they are right now, if they lose like this, and they don't win this game or show some type of comeback in the second half, we're going full scorched earth on this team in the post game, which we're gonna be doing live. Full scorched earth on this team. Callie Rex says, I don't think Greg was that bad, to be honest. I think Greg turned a shit. He's pretty bad, man. Let's be honest. He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. He's okay for MLS, but he's bad. He should not be a national team coach. Ahmed says, give Suarez a brain and common sense to retire instead of to sign a contract. Yeah. I mean, he is a big reason for this team's downfalls this year. They don't need him. They don't need him. They do not need him. Mr. says Chicago aren't even playing that well, but anyone with any pace will destroy that Miami defense, especially this Miami defense. When you've got Toto Alvarez and Lujan, and here's the thing: Toto Alvarez isn't even playing that aggressive, or he's not done anything stupid so far, and they're getting their ass kicked. Toto Alvarez doesn't even do anything bad. Well, he is doing something bad. He's not playing. He's piss poor defensively, but he's not playing reckless so far. Even though on that second goal, he was nowhere to be found. I don't know where the hell he was at. Yeah, Bamba has been good. Gutman's been pretty good. I think Kuipers has been pretty good. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Segovia, I'm just not a fan of. Cello, able to win it back. Rodrigo to Paul, wide left. Was it a handball? Yeah, it looked like it could have been a handball. It looked like it was on Rodrigo de Paul's left hand. Looked like it could have been a handball. Juan says they sit back and counter and guard Messi strategy, aka obvious stuff, is working. Well, and they don't have any. Listen, Miami. The way to beat Miami is to clog the middle, beat them on the wings with the speed, and that's what they're doing. Clog the middle, force Messi to get rid of the ball quick. Make sure he does not hold the ball for more than like 3 or 4 seconds. That's the key to winning. And also, too, Miami don't have anybody on the wings. Like when Messi can pass it out to fast, pacey wingers, Salvetti or Baltasar Rodriguez, it helps open up the middle of the field because you have to guard them or you're going to get cooked. They don't have to worry about that. Gutman with a good clearance. But they just don't have that. There's no dynamic in this attack right now. There's no dynamic in this attack at all. Michael says, Will, sorry I couldn't pull myself away from the whiteout game with your LAFC watch along, but love seeing how your channel has grown from the beginning. I appreciate that, my friend. Yes. Hopefully that's we have a great playoffs and we still have a lot of room for the rest of the season. There's still a lot of soccer left to be played. A lot of soccer. Oh, looks like Alvarez got that. Did he get it? Yeah, Toto Alvarez able to score 1-2, enter Miami, down 2-1 to Chicago Fire. They're able to pull one back. Bad defending by Chicago. Not really sure what they were doing there, but let's see. Let's watch a replay on this. All right, Messi with obviously the corner. Good save for Chris Brady at first. And then Toto Alvarez kicks it. Looks like it bounced off of who did it bounce off of? Yeah, well, they're able to pull one back. Yeah, it did get off Chris Brady. Yeah, it looks like it did deflect off Chris Brady. RFJ says that this team needs Pedri in the midfield. Ashcan, Chicago are coming into this game with a 4-game win streak. Their last loss was against Philadelphia, where they were beaten 4-0. Are they checking this? Okay, so it looks like it's confirmed. Ashcan says 2-1. Toto Alvarez scores. Yep. Michael says, who had Alvarez on their bingo card? I don't think anyone thought that was going to be the goal scorer. Mr. says the sooner Busquets retires, the better. I mean, look, he's still a very crisp passer. Like he had the assist to Messi last week, not Saturday, but last weekday game. But he doesn't really. Defensively, he's a liability. He's slow, and he gets. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Busquets turn around to pass back and then fall down and end up losing possession when he's trying to pass back to the goalkeeper. Messi's not even top 5 in touches on the team tonight. He's not even top 5 for Inter Miami in touches. That's the way you beat them. It's the way you beat them. Fake fan says the Chicago goalkeeper looking like Cal the Dragon in Sidemen charity match. Are his gloves moisturized with butter? Maybe they are. Ahmed says Busquets is still useful. Suarez is dead wood. Yeah, I mean, Suarez is terrible. That was a good pass from Suarez to Segovia, but there's no pace there. No pace. Gives everybody a chance to catch up. There's now what is there? 7 guys in the final third for Chicago. Lose possession. What happens? Nothing. Nothing. Messi with the ball. Bad giveaway. Bad pass. Mr. says he's too old. DePaul should be at the central midfield. Yeah, he should be playing next to Yannick Bright. But also they're paying him too much money. Timothy Park says they don't go as far as they did. They don't go as far as they did. Who are you talking about? What do you mean? Ahmed says great park the bus by Chicago Mourinho style. Michael says Busquets and DePaul as double pivot playing out of the back looked pretty good for MLS standards. It did. It's better. Look, DePaul playing there is better than having. And look, Busquets is still not ideal, but he looks better when he's playing next to him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. 3-1 Chicago. Guame. Getting cooked. Who just got cooked right there? Someone just got absolutely serenaded. Who was that got cooked? Was that Lujan that just got cooked? If that was Toto Alvarez, that goal he just scored just got diminished. I think it was Toto Alvarez. Toto Alvarez just got just absolutely flambéed. He just got absolutely serenaded. Bad. Let's see. Let's see who got cooked. I'm thinking it's Toto Alvarez, but we'll see here. Uh-oh. It's definitely looking like Toto Alvarez. Uh-oh. Yep, Toto Alvarez getting cooked. Jesus, Toto Alvarez got smoked. What kind of defending is that? He just got cooked. (3-1). Probably over. Probably over. What I'll have to look it up. What is the biggest loss that Inter Miami has had in 2020 and 2025? What is the biggest loss that Inter Miami has had in 2025? Because this could be it. This could be the biggest loss for Inter Miami in 2025. Not looking good, folks. Christian says 5-1 against Cincinnati was their biggest loss. It could be worse than that tonight. It could be worse than that tonight. I mean, it's still early. Wayne says PSG 4-0. Yeah, well, I mean, come on. I'm talking MLS. I mean, yeah, definitely that was probably the worst loss they had this year, but I'm talking about in Major League Soccer. What was the worst? By the way, I think that didn't Vancouver beat them worse than that? 4 minutes of added time, by the way. Juan says, be patient in the counter and guard Messi because no one else makes plays. Really is. It is. I'm telling you, clog the midfield, swarm Messi when he touches the ball. No pace on this team. Not in this lineup. Easy. Easy way to beat them. SPH says, bro, this team has no idea how to defend. Toto Alvarez got smoked. Lujan is bad. Maxi Falcone has been better, but even he looks vulnerable. No Allen, so. They just don't have good enough center backs. SPH says Ustari hardly moves his body. RFJ says Zlatan was right. This Miami team is full of statues. Stiff says no shield for this if they lose for sure. Yeah, if they lose tonight, the shield's over. Danny was swearing up to me up and down they were going to win the shield, man. He said they're going to win the shield. There's no way they're going to lose. He said they were going to go 5-1-0 in their last 6 games. And they've yet to win a game in their last 6 games. They're probably going to lose this one too. Even though this is their second game, but still. Wayne says it's just too easy to defend Miami. That's the real issue. Their game plan is so simple. It's because Mascherano is got the ABC tactics here. ABC 1, 2, 3 tactics. I mean, the dude is simple mind. He's a simpleton. Messi too far. Jordi Alba not able to get to it. Spencer says Messi doesn't seem to be on his game, and Inter Miami as a whole seems clueless. Must be from being tired. Well, it's not being tired. It's because they don't have any youth out there, any pace, and then the coach is terrible. Yeah, I do. I wonder what would happen if they. I do wonder what would happen if Inter Miami were able to just sign the best player instead of trying to sign Messi's friends and to surround him with the most talent possible. What the difference would be. SPH says, my question is how did a good NYCFC not score a single goal against Miami? Because they were playing a formation that is better. Like they had a more favorable formation to help them maximize what they do. Silvetti and Baltasar Rodriguez. Kelly Rex says Vancouver is going to be the best one now with a chance to win the Shield. Now that they got out of the Cascadia matches without a loss, I still think LAFC have a chance to win the Supporter Shield, but I don't know. There's still Son and Denny Bwong are going to miss 2 games, so I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. I have no idea who's going to win. I have no idea who is going to win the Supporter Shield this year. It's totally wide open, especially when teams are playing like this. It's completely wide open. And Aviles gets booked. Yeah. Stiff says, and where is that new signing? The young kid, 27. I don't know how to spell his name. For who? Miami? Oh. Jack Elliott almost scored there. Timothy Park, NYCFC is not that good. They lost to DC United at home. Yeah, that's a pretty bad loss. Kelly Rex says, LOL, of course, Aviles gets carded. It feels like Aviles can't go a game without being carded. I mean, it's his thing, man. Death, taxes, and yellow cards. Aviles' approach. Every 3 things that are guaranteed. Michael Pelly says, don't worry. If Aviles plays too long, he'll get a red card and be out of the match. KGF says, when Messi is not turning up, the whole team looks bad. Well, I mean, that's the issue. You know, you have to have people other than him contribute and do things on this team. I mean, you can't depend on one person. I do think they're going to make some subs in the second half. I do think Baltasar will probably come in. Juan says, would it be smart to try to turn over a bit before the playoffs? Why repeat last year in terms of old guys being... Hold on one sec. Oh! Rodrigo DePaul just absolutely choked it. Squandered it. We're a minute over the added time, so I would assume the whistle. All right, that's the whistle for the first half. Inter Miami's down 3-1 to the Chicago Fire and Greg Berhalter. Absolutely embarrassing first half for Inter Miami, which I said before the game started that when I saw that lineup and saw Rodrigo DePaul playing on the right side and Telasco Segovia on the left side, no speed in this starting 11, that things are probably going to be bad. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think. What would you rate that first half performance by Inter Miami, 1 through 10? 1 being absolutely stunk the joint up, which they kind of did. 1, they absolutely stunk the joint up. And 10, that they were incredible. What would you rank the first half performance by Inter Miami? Also, make sure you like the stream down below if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 50 likes before the second half. We're at 20 right now. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video or a live stream, because we are going to be going live after this game to break down what we saw and probably what we wish we didn't see because of how bad it is. So make sure you guys hit that little bell notification so you don't miss any of my videos. Oh my God. KGF says 1. Spencer says 2. Fake fans says 10 out of 10. Eric says 1. Mr. says 1. Michael Pelly says 1.1. John says 1. Timothy Park says 1.5. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to say that it was a 1. I agree with that. It was a 1. This was horrible. The only goal, Cali Rex says he's a 1 as well. This was a terrible performance by the entire team. I don't think a single player played well in that first half. I think it was pretty bad across the board. The only person, according to FOTMob, the only person that had a positive rating in the first half was Yannick Bright and Messi. But even Toto Alvarez's goal, I mean, it was a rebound goal, right? I mean, it was very lucky. I mean, it was nothing crazy. I just think that was a bad performance by the entire team. And, you know, Messi hasn't been good in the first half, but he really hasn't had any help. And they've done a really good job of eliminating him with the way you do it. Clog the middle, make him pass the ball out wide, especially when this team has no pace. Is anyone afraid of Rodrigo de Paul on the right side of the midfield? Like, what the hell is he going to do on the flank? What is he going to do on the flank? What is he going to do? He's not going to do anything in the attack. So that's how you beat Miami, especially with this easy-ass lineup and this terrible starting center back duo. That's how you beat them, and that's what Chicago Fire are doing. I think it's a 1. I think it could get ugly unless they make some additions or some substitutions in the first and the second half. Maybe they will. But the fact that Javier Mascherano submitted this starting 11 card and said, you know what? I think this is a good 11. This is going to win us the game. I want to do this. Hasn't worked all year, but I'm going to do this again. You know, the definition of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. And that's what I think Javier Mascherano is. I think he's insane. So terrible first half, 1 out of 10. And this looks like it's going to be bad. Now, look, there's some positives with the team in general, not in this game, but we've seen them play well with certain lineups. But this was just such a bad decision to do this. And it looks like Inter Miami might not even finish top 3 in the Eastern Conference because they're going to have 2 games where none of these people are. Oh, Danny texted me back. Battered Herons. I said, are you still winning the supporters shield? He says, I don't know. I'm driving home from practice. I'm guessing they're losing. I've been listening to the Yankees game that has me more upset than Inter Miami could get me tonight. Yeah, they're losing bad. Mr. says, can you imagine if the Miami backline versus LAFC? Son and Bouanga would have a hat trick each. I'm telling you, like, look, it's still early because there's so many games left to be played, and we don't know what the playoffs are gonna like the way they're gonna shake out. But the way things stand right now, I would be very surprised if any team can beat LAFC the way they're playing. But I don't want to get into that because we still have several regular season games left, and we got decision day, so there's still a lot of games left to be played. But LAFC look like they're probably the best team in the league right now. They do. They look like they're the best team, and Miami look like they're in trouble. Okay, so let me ask you this for the first half. Obviously, it was really bad. Not a good first half. I want to ask you guys, who do you think was the worst performer? I'm going to take these headphones off too. Take these headphones off and give me a little bit of break because there's nothing to listen to at this moment. Who was the worst performer in the first half for Inter Miami? Who was the worst performer? Who was the worst performer for Inter Miami in that first half? Who was the worst performer? Mick says Suarez. Spencer says Suarez. Miguel says, let's go Fire. WWE Mania total said Total Alvarez. Spencer says Messi. You said Suarez though. Luhan Drink Me says Luhan. Uh, Spencer says both of them. Messi was not the worst player in the first half. Mister says Mascherano. Miguel says La Tortuga was the worst player in the first half for Inter Miami. Fried Chicken said Messi. Eric Saul says La Tortuga was the worst player in the first half. Timothy Park says DePaul was the worst player in the first half. You know, I think the worst player in the first half would probably have to be, look, it's tough because so many players, I think had a bad first half. I mean, collectively, it was just really, really, really bad performance by the entire team. And, Mr. joked and said that he thought that Mascherano had the worst first half. But in a sense, I kind of agree with him because he's the one that put this lineup together, and it's terrible. But if I had to pick one player, I would say Total Alvarez was the worst player too. And the reason I say that is because he gave away a terrible goal that was a terrible goal that I forgot who scored. Who was it? Kouame. Kouame scored, and that was a terrible concession by Total Alvarez. The goal he scored was lucky as hell. I mean, nothing crazy by him. But the tracking has been bad. The marking has been bad. And he got a yellow card. I mean, I don't think he's the only person to blame. But player-wise, Total Alvarez, I definitely think had a terrible first half. But Mascherano is just a disaster glass. I mean, he really is. He's a disaster glass. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And I think that's really hurt this team. It is hard to Mr. Rister says it's hard to pick one. It really is hard to pick one. It is hard to pick one. Ustari was bad too. Ustari is technically the lowest graded person in the first half, but that's going to happen when they score 3 goals on you. Goalkeeper's normally going to have a bad score, but Ustari was pretty bad. I mean, he had the one good save, but he was pretty bad in the first half. The first goal that they scored, he was a statue. But WWE Mania says, hey, well, after Sergio Busquets retired, who will be his replacement? What is your choice? It's going to be Yannick Bright and Rodrigo De Paul. They're going to be the 2 starting midfielders, 2 starting 8s, 2 6s, 2 box-to-box midfielders. But I do think that Mascherano is showing that when the playoffs start and it gets to the point where it's single elimination, he's going to struggle because there is no room for error in these big games. Keyshawn says, who should they hire instead? I mean, I think they're going to kick the tires on Xavi again. I think Xavi Hernandez is going to be someone they call up. Now, I heard that they couldn't hire him last time because he wanted too much money and they weren't willing to pay him what he wanted. But Xavi has been on the market for a year and a half almost now. Maybe not a year. Yeah, no, about a year and a half actually, because he got relieved in like June of 2024. It's almost a year and a half. But I heard that they wanted him. He wanted too much money. They hired Mascherano. But with Messi having like maybe 2.5 years left, I think they're going to be willing to pony up the cash that's going to take to get Xavi here. And we'll see if they can get the deal done. But yeah, I think that this team is desperate, and I think that they're going to do everything they can to try to. I don't think Mascherano is going to be here in 2026. He's not going to be here. He sucks. He's not good. He's not going to make it. So we'll see what happens. Yo, hey, I want to get your guys' score prediction, but I texted Danny. I said they're getting killed 3-1. He said second half. I said first half just ended. He said still time. I'll tell you what, if they make this comeback, that would be incredible. But I seriously doubt it. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think? What are your predictions for the second half? Who's going to win? What's your score prediction? Is Inter Miami going to continuously getting beat down by the Chicago Fire? Are they going to be able to make a comeback? What is your score prediction for the second half of this game? Let me know what your predictions are. Mr. says Xavi will probably be at Manchester United once they sack once they sack their manager. Yeah, I mean, I think that probably could happen. I did hear that Xavi has been kind of waiting it out, Mister, of when Pep Guardiola is going to leave Man City. That's what I heard. He's kind of waiting to see what happens with that job, and that I think that would be his preference is to go to Man City. We'll see what happens. I mean, anything's possible, right? But we'll see. Cali Rex says, I don't think Miami are winning this. They're going to have to keep Chicago from scoring. Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they are. Mister says 5-1 Chicago. Timothy Park says 4-2 Chicago. Spencer says 6-2 Chicago. Michael Pelly says Fire do have a bad defense too, so Miami could still score some goals. 4-3 Chicago after Miami ties it up. Cali Rex says Pep to Miami. Francisco says tough choice. Man U of Miami. Man U of Miami. Spencer says it could get bad. Mister says there were reports today linking Xavi with Manchester United. Yeah, I have seen the reports. I think he might be a little reluctant to take that job or hesitant just because it's such a bad job at this point. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Had to put JJ in timeout. He kept spamming the chat. Ashcan says 3-3 draw. Yeah, I mean that would be a great comeback if they could. Al Nassr would win 8-0 in a friendly versus Miami. I mean, probably, but it's not really a fair comparison. They don't have a salary cap. They can spend whatever they want. Spencer says they ran through Inter Miami defense. Why wouldn't they still push to score more? They could. Keyshawn says Mourinho should leave Benfica and go to Miami. Man, that I tweeted about that. That would be Keyshawn. That would be funny as hell. Honestly, that'd be funny. Fried Chicken says no more spam, JJ. Yeah, that's too much spam. Francisco says, come on, bad job as managing Miami with Messi's dad on board. Bobby says, imagine Sonny playing up top with Messi instead of Suarez. It would be insane. Michael Pelly says, Manchester United seems like it could be a career killer job too. No upside. That's the thing. It's like, it's just really a bad job right now. It feels like it's almost like a snake bitten job, right? Nothing's going to really fix it at this moment. Eric says swap Podge and Berhalter's jobs. No. I don't want, no Berhalter again. Spencer says, what are your thoughts though, bro, for the second half? I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to continue to be, I'm thinking it's probably going to be 4-1 or no, I think maybe 4-2. You know what I say about Miami? If they score one, they don't just score one. They normally score two or more. So I do think it could be like 4-2, but the problem is they've just been outclassed the first match. I think it's going to probably be 4-2 Chicago. And this will essentially end the hopes of Inter Miami winning the Supporters Shield and hosting not only the MLS Cup, but hosting having the playoffs go through Miami to get to the final in the Eastern Conference. So I think it's going to be 4-2 Chicago. You see the pace. Inter Miami do not handle pace very well. They don't have the center back play. They don't have the transition defense, and they sure as hell don't have the speed or the competency on the at fullback either side. And I love Jordi Alba, great in the attack, but he's not a very good defender. If we're being honest, Mister says, imagine anyone with pace playing instead of Suarez. Hopefully, that's what they do. That's what they do. We've been talking about this for almost a year. Hopefully, that's what they do. Go sign a striker between the ages of 25 and 28 who's good in their prime. Put them up top, have some pace, and they have to be able to finish. Go spend $15 or $20 million on a striker, and we'll see what happens. And by the way, the second half is about to kick off. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Baltasar Rodriguez is on the pitch now, though. And by the way, if Chicago win, I think they clinch a playoff spot, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I think they clinch a playoff spot. And this is the first time that Chicago will have made the playoffs since 2017. Incredible. Juan says Allende in to open things up. So Allende and Baltasar's in. I'm looking. Okay, yeah. So Allende and Baltasar in. What's the formation? Are they playing a? Are they going to 5 in the back? Who got subbed out? Let's see. Let's see who got subbed out. Ian Frey came in. Okay, so Toto Alvarez came out. Cello Wangit came out. And Segovia came out. Ian Frey, Baltasar Rodriguez, and Tadio Allende came in. All right, they have a chance. It could be an interesting second half. Let's see. We'll see if this makes a difference. I still think they might be cooked. I think that, this one might be done, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Juan says Frey, Rodriguez, and Allende in should have been the starters. They should have been. Bobby says you should do a video on how to build a better Miami team, like realistic signings and a new manager. Yeah, I'll probably do that in the off season before if they fire somebody. I think I might try. I haven't done a video in a couple weeks now. I've been doing just mostly live streams. I'll do more videos when the playoffs start, but there's not really a lot of stuff to talk about right now except for like this kind of stuff. So, but when the playoffs start, we'll do a lot of videos again. We'll do predictions and recaps to the week and all kinds of different things. It should be fun. Eric says they need an early goal. They do. They do need an early goal. We'll see if they can get one. Throw in for Inter Miami. Jordi Alba. No one's open. Pass it to Yannick Bright. So they got Busquets playing. They've got Busquets playing center back next to Lujan. Bad giveaway by Lujan, by the way. And they've got Rodrigo de Paul playing next to Yannick Bright. I actually don't mind Sergio Busquets playing center back because he's already playing so deep anyway. And so I don't mind him playing center back. Keyshawn says, damn, I guess Fafa gets no playing time. Keyshawn also says, between USMNT, Canada, and Mexico, who do you see making the most noise? I'd probably go Canada. It's honestly pretty close, all three. But that's not to say all three of them are good. I think it's just like, I think all three of us are kind of underwhelming, but I do think Canada have a lot of going for them. So I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I do think all three of us are kind of mid, honestly. Oh, Messi. Yende running on the right side. Good pass from Messi to Yende. Able to get on the other side of it. Rodrigo. Going, I thought he was going to go wide to Jordi Alba, but he doesn't. Pass it to Baltasar. Rodriguez to Suarez. Suarez to Messi. Ooh. Michael Pelly says, I remember your weekly MLS recaps from the weekend games back in the old days. Yeah, I do them sometimes. It's just harder to watch as many games and stuff. So I'll probably bring him back next. I'm definitely going to do that when the MLS Cup playoffs start. I'll definitely bring those back. Keyshawn says, from last World Cup to the upcoming one, I think that they improved the most. USMNT might be even worse. There's a chance they could be, but it's mostly, I don't really know what the issue is outside of Poch, but because the talent is not worse, I don't think it is. But yes, I agree that it doesn't look good. God, that pace just kills Inter Miami. Oh, good defending by Busquets, though. Good defending. Rodrigo to Messi. Messi to Alba. Alba to Baltasar. Messi. Jordi. Messi looked like he was pulled down. Oh, God, Allende. I think Messi was pulled down. It looked like he got pulled down the box. I have to put you in timeout again, JJ. You're spamming again. Oh my! Messi off the right post. Oh my! 2 times? Yannick Messi, then Allende off the post. Messi missed that, and then Allende off the post, back to back off the woodwork. Oh my God, Messi should have scored that clinically, and then Allende, obviously Allende ain't making that. Oh my, jeez, wow. I don't know how they missed both of those. Well, I know how they missed the Allende shot, but I don't know how Messi, Wayne. I don't know how Messi missed that. I mean, that's it. That is the easiest. That's the easiest chance Messi is going to have, right? I mean, we saw him have the chip to this past weekend, or not this past weekend, but last week, the midweek game last week had the chip in against NYCFC. I think that was that game. I mean, that was way harder. Messi to Jordy, Jordy to Baltasar. Oh, handball called. Goal kick for Chicago. RFJ says it's okay to laugh. Well, it's kind of funny. It's sad and funny, I guess, but it's really sad. I mean, my God, how did he miss that? God, again, tastes so bad. Callie Rex says Messi sure has been regressing the game against Charlotte and against Toronto, and now this. He has some good games. And he also has some bad games. Harry says it's my day to collect on a plus 220. God, look at the pace. Just blazing by the Miami players. Rodrigo to Paul. Yannick Bright. Jordi Alba. Alba looking for Suarez. Too soft of a pass. Mm. Fake fan says you can clearly tell Miami has no chemistry or a real leader. Looking a random Sunday league team just got put together. Looking like I guess you're saying looking like a random Sunday league got put together. I mean it that was that this has been a rough game. You know, Inter Miami definitely look better in the attack. Like the chances are there, but they just don't have. They're not able to finish them. So it's not really doing anything. The chances they've had so far to get themselves back in the game, they're not able to put away. So it just looks like this is not going to end well for them. I mean, they probably will score another goal, but I just don't think they're going to be able to win this game. Tadio Yende with a decent pass. Oh, Ian Frey. Good save by Chris Brady. Tony says Messi regressing. Look at his stats; they aren't human. Sure, he's not Barca Messi, but he's literally still one of the best players in the world, and we see that clearly with Argentina. I don't think he's regressing. I just think his team is bad, and that his margin of error is so small because of how dependent they are on him. I don't think he's regressed. Keyshawn says Miami looking like the new Caledonia. SPH says somebody needs to talk to Messi, a press conference interview or something. Michael Pelly says, I've only been watching soccer for the last 2 to 3 years, but this is some ugly soccer tonight. It's pretty bad. And, Mr. I agreed with him that Chicago don't even look that good. They haven't done anything crazy or worldly tonight. Miami's just been that bad. Johnny says, I think Messi is just tired. He needs rest. Keyshawn says, Inter Miami isn't a team anymore. It's a cult of personalities. Man. Jordi Alba looking for Baltasar. Baltasar, good pass to... Suarez able to score. There you go. Baltasar to Suarez. 3-2. 3-2. There you go. Maybe there's life in them after all. Maybe there's life in this team after all. Good pass by good look from Baltasar to Suarez. That was a good pass too, because we know La Tortuga's not gonna be able to catch a through ball. It's too fast. So the bounce was perfect. Set him up perfectly. RFJ says that this would be embarrassing if Chicago blow this game. It would be embarrassing to lose this game. Nah, not El Tortuga, La Tortuga. "4-2 is my prediction. We'll see. We'll see if Miami can claw their way back in this. What was Ian Frey's fell down? That should be a corner. No one even touched Ian Frey. He fell down. When's the last time Luis Suarez scored an open play goal? Like he scored a PK a couple weeks ago, but maybe it was even his first game back. But when's the last time Luis Suarez scored it was last midweek game he scored a penalty. When's the last time that Suarez scored an open play goal though? It's been probably a while. Tony says that Suarez is a top 5 striker ever. I mean, he is one of the best strikers of all time. He's just not good anymore. Was it really Palmeiras? Was that really the last time he scored a penalty? Or excuse me, an open play goal? Yeah, is that Rodriguez? God, look how slow the attack is. There's already like eight people back for Chicago, and there was only one or two people forward for Miami. They just are so slow. God, they're so slow. God, that's terrible. If it really was Palmeiras, that's terrible. That was almost 4 months ago. Jordi Alba, the cross. Of course, the end they didn't get on the end of that. Cleared out for a throw in for Inter Miami. Miguel says all these times making fun of Suarez's pace come back to bite us, Fire fans. Tony says Messi wasn't in Europe when he won the World Cup. Oh, Messi, way too high, far left. Messi wasn't where when he won the World Cup. Juan says if Allende could finish, he'd be in Europe. Yeah, for sure. He wouldn't be here if he could finish. All right, someone's getting subbed out. Okay, Gutierrez is coming in for Bamba for Chicago. Bobby says Messi was in France when he won the World Cup. I mean, it's still Europe, though. Michael Pelé says Javier Mascherano had an interview quote this week when he said that he thought the crew had the best looking soccer in MLS, but are still in the playoffs play-in spot. So the league is very even. Well, also the reason why they're in the play-in spot is because they didn't have a striker for half the year. They sold their best player at the first game of the season, and they never replaced him. So that was bad for the team. That was bad for the team. Nick says Messi is injured. I don't think he doesn't move. I think Messi is injured. He doesn't move well. He could be sore. I don't know if he's injured. Balthasar, good play. Back to Alba. To Yannick. Busquets to DePaul. Messi playing super, super deep. Oof. Good defending. Able to keep possession. Jordi Alba passes it back to Sergio Busquets. Busquets looking for Alba. Good pass. Back to Suarez. Suarez looking for Messi. Bad pass. Passed out of bounds for an Inter Miami throw in. Where is Falcone? Spencer says Maxi Falcone is just on the bench. I think he's just resting. Tomorrow is that Campeones Cup Galaxy versus Toluca. I could not care less. I could not care less. Oh, bad giveaway. Allende to Messi. Oh! Messi wide left. Juan says Suarez has more turnovers than goals all year. He does. Yeah, Messi definitely looks tired, but it's because he's having to do so much. Fake Fences Toluca is gonna pump the Galaxy. Yeah, I mean, I really don't even care. I mean, who cares if either of those teams win Campeones Cup? Like, what does that even mean? What does that really even mean? Who cares? Like that is I could not care less. Could not care less. What the hell was that throw in? What was that? Ashkin says Messi's getting a lot of chances. Yeah, he's getting chances, but I think he's already gassed, and I think that he's already worn out. He's already worn out. Bobby says, where do you rate Busquets in all time MLS signings? He has made an impact on the team and helped them go from last place to the Supporters Show. Not really much, honestly, because Messi was the main factor for that. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like a top 10 signing or anything. He's okay. I mean, he hasn't really been that good for Inter Miami, in my opinion. I don't think he's lived up to his $10 million a year salary. He's been kind of underwhelming, in my opinion. Timothy Park says, Will, would you care if Inter Miami or LAFC were in it? No, I wouldn't, honestly. I mean, it doesn't matter. I just don't think it matters. Like, what if you're in the Campeones Cup, you win it, what does that mean? Leagues Cup is so. I mean, that makes some sense. And then the CONCACAF Champions Cup, that makes a lot of sense, but Campeones Cup, it just doesn't matter. Balthasar. It's too oversaturated, all these games. That game does not matter. Oh, Suarez loses possession. Keishon says they need to raise the cap so they can buy better defenders. For the Alba to Messi. He's got a little space. Oof. Crazy. Rocky says, I love how DePaul got fined for simulation versus New York City FC. Watch along after I complained about diving. What did he get fined? I remember you saying that though, by the way. Oh yeah, he was definitely offside. Bobby says, what about Alba on all-time signings? I mean, I don't think Alba is like a top 10 signing of all time or anything like that either. He's really good, but top 10 signings or all-time signings are just more of like impact, but also like what you do for the league as far as the brand of the league and how many people you bring into the league. Balthasar. Oh my god. Bad pass. Oof. Gutierrez was looking for Kuipers. A little too much on it. Ashcan says Campeones Cup is like the UEFA Super Cup winner of the MLS. Yeah, it is, but it still doesn't mean anything to me. There's too many other games. There's too many other games that kind of that are it's too oversaturated. Keyshawn says, "What do you think Atlanta should do to fix their squad?" I think they should fire Ronnie Dyla. They should sell Miranchuk. They need to probably get rid of Latte Lot. I mean, he sucks. He's terrible. I don't know why they signed him or paid the fee that they paid for him, but got a lot of issues. A lot of issues. A lot of teams have a lot of issues, honestly, but they have a lot of issues. SPH says they should make something like the Europa League in North America. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. There's 21 minutes left in this match. 3-2, Chicago 5 over Inter Miami. And guys, like I said, we're going to be doing a post game after this live post game after this. And if Miami lose, we're going in on them. We are going in on this team if they lose because they should have won this game with. They should have been more competitive from the start if they had a better starting 11, but they haven't. Keyshawn says Latte Lot, the biggest bust in MLS history. And I had a feeling he would be. I mean, I didn't see you don't pay $30 million for a championship striker. You don't do it. Just you don't do that. Wayne Bender says, I just want MLS to significantly raise the salary cap and get rid of half the roster restrictions. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know when that would happen, if it will happen, but we'll see. We'll see what they do after the World Cup. Cal Acosta's coming in for Chicago. Mick says only Alba and Messi are good on Miami side this season. Maybe. I think there's a couple good players, but Mr. Mister says, ironically, Latte Lot probably would have worked in Miami. Yeah, that is kind of funny. He probably would have. He's kind of what they need, but still, I don't think he's worth the 30 million. Regardless, if the price tag just didn't meet the quality of the player. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like that's the style that they needed. Messi, bad pass to Jordi Alba. Oh, pass behind him. Sergio Busquets. Busquets to Alba, back to Busquets. Busquets to DePaul. DePaul over the top to Allende. Couldn't get on the other side of it. Why did you ignore my DC United questions? Must not be worth the. What did you ask me about DC United? Once his only Alba and Messi make plays, everyone else scared to shoot, so they overpass. Oh, wants his only Alba and Messi make plays, and everyone is scared to shoot. So they okay. Sorry, I think I read that one already. I was trying to get the spammer out of here. So tough to watch. DC United in the big 2025. It's funny. DC United is they're in trouble until they sell the team. Big trouble until they sell the team. SPH says, man, Miami isn't making a comeback, man. I'm off. There's still like 17 minutes left, plus added time. I mean, they could. They're only down by 1 goal. But the bad thing is that Messi looks kind of cooked in this game. Like he looks tired. He looks like a shell of himself. So that definitely doesn't help. How do you think we can make a comeback after building the new stadium and falling away from the Rooney era? Not sure how United will ever become good again. They got to sell the team. Oh, Suarez. Oh, Suarez. Boom, there you go. 3-3. Hope SPH didn't log off too soon. He probably did. That's got to be Suarez's first brace of the year, right? Because even the Palmeiras game, I think maybe he did score maybe he did score a brace against Palmeiras. I think did he score a brace? I think he did. Suarez finally woke up. Yeah, that was a good goal. God, terrible marking by Jack Elliott. What was that? I tell you what, though, Miami has been ass tonight. Both of these teams have been ass. Like neither one of these teams really deserved to win. This has definitely been a mid off. 15 minutes left in the first or second half or in this game, plus added time. 3-3, Inter Miami, Chicago are tied. Michael says mocking Suarez comes back to bite us. He's just spitting in our eyes. That's funny. La Tortuga puts him back. He ties it up for him. La Tortuga ties it up for Inter Miami. It's 3-3. 15 minutes left plus added time. Anything can happen. Chicago look gassed right now. They just look gassed. The triple G masterclass. Fake fans in Chicago goalkeeper has been horrible. Both teams are jokes. Let's be honest. I mean, Chris Brady's a pretty good goalkeeper normally, but I think that Chicago definitely has folded in the second half. They look very tired. They look very tired in the second half. And Miami has, let's see. In the second half, Miami's dominated possession 60-40. Yannick Bright passes it out to Sergio Busquets. Sorry. Junsong says that Suarez dying. Yeah, La Tortuga is not looking too good. I mean, he's got 2 goals tonight, but did he score? Did he score a Baltasar Rodriguez? Did he lose a shoe? He did. He lost a shoe. Terrible marking by Jack Elliott, though. Good curler, though. I will say it was a good curler by Suarez, though. You saw Gutman trying to get in there last second, trying to head it out. That was crazy. Things are looking bad for Chicago. I'm telling you, Chicago. I don't know if Miguel's still in here, but things are looking bad for the Fire right now. Noah Allen's in too. Jordi Alba to Baltasar. Out of bounds for a corner. To Paul. To Frey. Frey's gonna pass it back to DePaul. To Paul to Bright. To Baltasar. Baltasar to Messi. Messi to DePaul. Oh. Fouled. Yannick Bright is fouled Gutierrez. He's going to get a yellow for that. Right. Chicken says, I swear, man, I'll scream if Chicago lose. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. They're choking this game away. Chicago is. They are choking. This is a Greg Berhalter masterclass or disaster class. Ashkin says Messi always finds a way to win, hence his trophy cabinet. He struggled a little bit in Miami. He has struggled a little bit. Oh, Jordi Alba, Messi. Oof. Uh-oh. 3v1 on the counter. Busquets on an island. Kuipers. Oh. Jeez. What a shit show. Kuipers. Oh, Gutierrez. Pineda. Oh my God. Oh my God. Pineda to Reynolds. Oh my God. Oh my God. Chicago scored their 4th goal. Take the lead over Miami again. What a shit show. Who was marking Reynolds? Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was good effort at first. I mean, they did a good job. I mean, Busquets was 3-on-1. They hustled back, but who the hell was supposed to be marking? Was that Noah Allen supposed to mark Reynolds? Let me see the replay on this. Great effort by Reynolds to make the run back, though. By the way, let's see. Pineda. Who failed to mark him? Is that Noah Allen or is that Baltasar Rodriguez? Yeah, Baltasar Rodriguez. Baltasar Rodriguez with terrible. I mean, you know, he is a winger, but that was terrible marking by Baltasar Rodriguez. Like he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't paying attention. Messi's just in disbelief. Absolute disbelief. Wow. Absolutely insane. That was such bad defending. Little bit less than 9 minutes left plus added time. Inter Miami now losing again. Suarez offside. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. Saved by Chris Brady. When is the last time Miami lost a home match? I'm gonna look that up real quick. See when the last time they lost a home match. Let's see. Oh, Yannick Bright, Jordi Alba, looking for Messi. Two guys around him. Oof. Suarez. Oh, good save by Chris Brady. Terrible, terrible shot by Dario Allende. Let's see. Last time that they lost at home was last time that Inter Miami lost at home was against Orlando on Sunday, May 18th. They lost 3-0. So they haven't lost a home game in over 4 months. That was a good save by Chris Brady, by the way. That was a good save. Oh, they scored again? Guys, you can't ruin it for me. You can't ruin it for me. Gutierrez score? Oh my God, what a banger! Brian Gutierrez with the rocket. Holy shit, dude, that was a banger. Oh my God, that's goal of the week. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was an absolute rocket, dude. Absolute rocket. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus, that was a clinical strike. Oh my God. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Like, there's nobody saving that. Gutierrez, man. Oh my God. Wow. Terrible. Terrible performance. Wow. Yeah, that's a dagger in the game. We're going to talk about this. Remember, we're going to be doing a post game recap after this match, talking about this embarrassing performance by Inter Miami, losing 5-3 to the Chicago Fire. Wow. I mean, this has been a pretty mid game. I'm not gonna lie to you, but man, yeah. Is Fafa in the game? Yeah, definitely. I didn't notice it either. Could it be 6-3? Was that a handball? God, when Suarez beat you in a race. You're cooked. Spencer said I said 6-1. I said 4-2 is what I thought the second half was gonna be, but my original prediction was like 2-2. But oh man. Wow. Police your fan says lead the football before Suarez beats you in a race. I wish I could get a picture of Messi looking sad like they showed him earlier. Like you just had this picture on his face where he just looked like defeated. And that's Jordi Alba. Messi header saved by Chris Brady. Man. Yeah, Messi header is insane. Oh man. Wayne Bender says Messi is going trophyless. That's crazy. Abhishek says, dude, Messi needs to rest for the next two games, please. Well, he's not going to rest for the next two games. He's going on international duty. He's going to be with Argentina. He's going to be with Argentina the next two games. So terrible. What the hell? It's just such a bad performance. This is the worst. I think this is probably the worst performance we've seen. And, they did show, Inter Miami did show a little bit of resurgence in the second half, but ultimately they still gave up 2 goals. They scored 2 goals, conceded 2 goals, wasn't good enough. Um, it looks like they're pretty much taken out of the supporter shield race now. That's not going to happen. Um, and honestly, with what we saw tonight, they probably don't deserve to win the supporter shield. They don't deserve to win the supporter shield with what we've seen. There's 1 minute left, plus added time. We'll see. Like I said, we're going to be going live right after this. We're going to be going live right after this. We're going to break down the game. I'm going to go in on this team. We're going to talk about what went wrong. We're going to talk about how, who's to blame, who's to blame for this loss. Six minutes of added time. Once this is 1,000% a coach loss. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm gonna save all my thoughts for the post game. I'm gonna save all my thoughts for the post game, which is gonna be live right after this. You're not going to miss that. We're gonna dissect what went wrong with this team. We're gonna talk about the grades. We're gonna talk about what could have went better. We're gonna go live right after this. And also, too, they Inter Miami just helped Chicago qualify for the playoffs the first time in since 2017. So Greg Berhalter definitely deserves some credit, though. Spencer says, overplaying 38-year-olds. What do you expect in a 3 games a week for 3 weeks? Oh, so bad. Ashkin says Greg Berhalter can thank Mascherano for keeping Maxi Falcone on the bench. Tony Fiddler says Messi and co refuse to pass to Fafa. Yeah, Fafa is definitely been kind of like the odd man out of the team this year, and a lot of issues, a lot of issues, a lot of issues with this team, a lot of issues with this team, a lot of issues with this team. Yeah, so I think this pretty much eliminates. We'll talk about it, but this pretty much eliminates Inter Miami supporter shield race. Not good. Not good. Like I said, we're going to be going live right after this. You guys aren't going to want to miss that. We're going to break down what happened. We're going to talk about where they stand in the supporter shield race. Are they still in the race? Or are they statistically eliminated? We'll talk about all of that and talk about who was at fault for this game and where they go from here. Where they go from here. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys over there after this game ends. We'll hop over to that other live stream. Uh-oh. One minute left. 1 minute left in regulation. Just such a bad performance. Props to Chicago though. Props to Chicago for going down to Florida and beating them. Props to Chicago. They deserve it. They deserve it. Yeah, we'll talk about who's likely to win the supporter shield now. Suarez trying to bicycle kick right now is crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's it. Inter Miami lose 4-1 to the Chicago Fire. They lose 4-1 to the Chicago Fire. Embarrassing loss by Inter Miami. Embarrassing loss by Inter Miami. And there's not much to say except how bad it is for this team. They should have. We'll talk about this post game. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to watch this live watch along. I'm going to end it here. I will see you guys over on the post game recap, which is about to start in a few minutes. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to watch the watch along. I'll see you guys over there.